For the last day of the Postal, I had near perfect weather. I'm going to show the last flight of the day first to give you a good idea what a good flight looks like. This stayed fairly close in, so you could see it better than a lot of flights that went out pretty far. This flight was 43 seconds, and my very best flight was 44. My best flight could have been longer, but the propeller and landing gear fell off, and that brought it down. It maybe could have hit a minute, I'm not sure. So I got this idea to try the Sky Streak. I had mixed those up in the last video. The Sky Streak is a smaller plane, but I figured I could use thinner rubber and get more turns. But my thought before was that a larger plane, like the Streak, is going to be a little more efficient in flying. And that's why I went with that to start with. And I think that was the right idea. The best flight I got with the Sky Streak was 28 seconds. And then I broke the rubber and didn't want to replace it, and it went back to the Streak. I appear to have solved the problem I had the last time out, where when I really wound it up, the prop was slipping on the wire hook. And I had glued the nose on with Duco, but that didn't hold. And this flight looked really good. It hit some air right now, and then it went right into the sun, and I couldn't really see it, but I just kept looking for it to appear again. And when it did appear, I see the prop coming down and the airplane tumbling down after it. So I really should check on the rules. I would think the first part of the plane to hit the ground, that should be the time. So I wouldn't say this is probably 44, and I'm going to go with my 43-second flight. Well, luckily the pieces fell right in the same general area. Well, I had brought out some super glue, but it turns out that it was all used up, and then I tried shoving paper and balsa along the prop hanger, but I just couldn't get it to hold, and the prop fell off out by those pine trees, but it might have saved the airplane from going into a tree. So I decided it was time to break for lunch, and there was a gas station near there, and they had one tube of CA, this tiny tube. It cost $4, but at least that's what it needed. So I also moved launch locations after lunch, so I had more room behind me to drift. And that flight, I think I hit the pole. On this flight, it looked like it was going off towards that building. I was afraid it might be on the roof, but it never got that far. A couple of flights I tried launching off of that box, and it worked sometimes, and sometimes it hit the ridge and went down. This time it recovered, but other times it didn't. So far in the day, the sun had been out real bright all the time, but then this cloud or two clouds moved over, and it was kind of shady for a while, and I held up flying, and I put a dab of CA on the wing to keep the adjustment. And I made another flight with my bounty hunter to make sure it still goes to the left like it had been the last time out. It seemed like it was going pretty much straight, but it looked good today. I just made 2 short flights. I brought all these models out, but I had the most fun with my little rubber models.